Hi, in this video, I'm going to talk a little bit about STP Port Fast. So, when a host gets powered on, okay, the switch is going to go through its traditional, typical forwarding states. Well, I shouldn't say forwarding states. It goes from blocking state, listening, learning, and then forwarding. Okay, so it's typical spanning tree states is what I should say. And of course, it has to wait for various timers to expire. You know, the listening state, learning state, forwarding state actually has to do that twice. So there's, so it can be upwards of, of 30 to 50 seconds or even more, depending upon the state of the switch. Well, why is that a problem? Okay, so we power on here. The host sends out a DHCP discovery looking for an IPv4 address. Okay, so the switch is going through its typical blocking state, listening state, learning state, and then these various timers are set and have to expire. Meanwhile, the DHCP discovery message times out before the switch goes into forwarding state. So the switch has not had a chance to be able to forward the DHCP discovery message. So what happens is the host never gets a usable IPv4 address. So the solution to in traditional spanning tree is to configure Port Fast. Okay, in rapid spanning tree, that's the equivalent of having an edge port. Okay, and this is to prevent the DHCP from timing out. So as soon as the port, as soon as the device is connected to the switch sees a carrier with Port Fast enabled on that port, it immediately goes into forwarding state. And that way the host can go ahead and forward those DHCP discover messages via the switch. Okay, so configuring Port Fast is very easy. You can do it either on a range of ports just by saying interface range the port values and spanning tree Port Fast, or you can do it on an individual port using the same command. Or if you want to make it the default on that switch, which is probably not a good idea, to be honest with you, you'd use spanning tree Port Fast default. It's not a good idea because you want to be very careful that this should only be enabled on ports that are connected to a single host. If hubs or switches are connected to that interface, with Port Fast enabled, temporary bridging loops can occur. Okay? And the port will then move into blocking state. Okay. So we'll talk about something called BPD UGuard in another video that, along with Port Fast, make sure that, well, what if somebody plugs in a switch to that port? So use Port Fast with something called BPD UGuard. We'll see that in another video.